That's where hope resides, is in seeds. You just need the faith to believe in it. They're alive. Wrapped up in these teeny little capsules is everything they need to know how to live right here with no extra care.
The Blackland prairies of Texas was once comprised of over 11 million acres, an ocean of grass and native flowers swaying in the Texas breeze. But experts estimate that less than 1% of that great prairie remains. In its place, we've planted non-native grasses that require coddling that comes from a garden hose and bags of fertilizer. But Bill Neiman of Native American Seed has made it his mission to preserve the plants that once made this prairie a diverse and vibrant place, and to bring it back, one lawn at a time.
70% of the clean drinking water in any city in Texas is going on landscaping. And so you drill into the plants that are in a landscape, and you get Asian jasmine, Chinese holly, India hawthorn, Japanese boxwood, Pakistan crepe myrtle, African Bermuda grass, Caribbean St. Augustine grass. The names or the countries of origin would kind of tell you something if we were paying attention. And this has been going on about a half a century. This thing about the lawn is kind of messing us up.
The unintended results of our efforts to manicure and tame nature has been the incredible upkeep required to maintain the many lawns around Texas as our state's population has grown. But what if the antidote to all that mowing and watering can be found deep down in our state's roots, and more specifically, the seeds that spawned them?
There's something about our society and what we've done, I think unintentionally, but we've erased nearly all of the native plants. All of the native habitat is gone. I started learning that these plants know exactly how to live right here with no extra care. They evolved here over thousands and thousands of years.
From a young age, Bill Neiman had a good foundation for loving things that sprout from the earth. Still, back in 1988, there was no blueprint for companies dedicated to preserving native wildflower and grass seeds when Bill and his wife founded the business in Argyle, Texas. But it wasn't the first he founded.
I did design, build, landscape construction. We do the entire job. Drainage, erosion control, hardscaping, lighting, retaining walls, hydromulch, sod. Along comes 1980. There was 100 days of 100 degrees with no rain in the DFW area. So it kind of dawned on me, man, I may have made a mistake here of some kind.
Bill had an epiphany. He was struck by a lightning bolt that caused him to see the world, the nature around him, the landscaping he did. Began to see it all in a different way.
On my way home every day after work, I drove 12 miles through the country over to Argyle, and there would be stuff out in the pasture blooming, even though it was hot and dry. There was green plants and some of them even flowers. So I would kind of climb through the fence and look at these plants and try and look them up in plant books and try and figure out what are these things. These are the native plants, and they were doing fine.
Bill understands that this is all a tall task. People love their lawns, but it hasn't always been that way. Why did that shift happen?
Well, I think it's a marketing thing and somewhat of our history of the concept of colonization, to where we wanted to dominate, and we didn't understand this place when we got here.
Bill decided to figure out how to change his livelihood from landscaping to teaching folks how to change their yards and their land into places of ecological restoration.
So I made a shift in the nursery to work that out. I was thinking 30 years from now that the young people wouldn't have enough clean drinking water, and that I would have been complicit in the reason why. So for me, personally, it's all about conservation of the most precious resource we have, which is clean water.
But where does one get the kind of seeds for the grasses and the wildflowers that once dominated millions of acres of the Texas prairies? These aren't the seeds you'll find at a hardware store, especially not in 1988.
Sometimes we actually can find down back roads enough to just get an envelope, like a little, it's more than a thimbleful, but maybe a cupful of seed. And we'll start one row 100 feet. And then we'll learn about what's going on there, learn how to get in sync. What does that seed do when it's mature? What does that look like? What does it feel like? Then we'll hand collect that. Then we'll do 4 rows. Then the next year, we've got enough to do a 1/4 acre.
Part of what got Bill thinking about preserving these seeds for the future was wondering what sort of natural beauty would remain for his children and children's children as the concrete continues its spread from coast to coast. It's a concern any parent, including myself, can understand.
I got a couple of goals in life. One is been to not have any regrets. The other thing, and I just learned this pretty late in life, is I would like to be a good ancestor.
How do you do that?
I think you get focused on what is it that you can share and leave for the future. What will this place be like if we don't make a shift for our species to even continue? This is not something that you have to go to college to figure it out. Everybody knows this. We can't keep doing what we've always done, or we're going to keep getting what we've always got.